Hi everyone, my name is Sundas Bibi and today I'm going to discuss the topic understanding the cardiovascular system in which we will discuss the structure and function of cardiovascular system which is a topic for modules supporting people with long-term conditions. In today's lesson, we are going to understand what is cardiovascular system, importance of cardiovascular system, components of cardiovascular system, and what is the structure of blood. So, if we talk about the cardiovascular system, basically it is a system which constitutes heart and blood vessels of human body. So, you might have heard about cardiovascular diseases. So, cardiovascular diseases is a general term for the conditions that affect our heart and the blood vessels. It might include coronary heart diseases, stroke, peripheral artery diseases, etc., which we are going to discuss in detail in our upcoming sessions. So, cardiovascular system is also known as a circulatory system of human body because it is involved in circulation of blood throughout the body and also the lymphatic system through the body. It plays a crucial role in delivering the oxygen and nutrients to tissues and cells of human body and removing the waste products. So now we are going to discuss what is the importance of cardiovascular system. So there are three main important points that are associated with importance of cardiovascular system. First, cardiovascular system is responsible to maintain homeostasis. Homeostasis means that it maintains the body temperature, it balances the fluids and electrolytes, and it maintains the pH levels as well. Second main function, or you can say importance of cardiovascular system, is immune response. It transports the white blood cells, it deliver and basically the white blood cells have deliver the antibodies to fight against the infections, viruses and bacteria in human body. Cardiovascular system also helps in waste removal because it eliminates carbon dioxide and filters the waste products through kidneys. If we talk about the components of cardiovascular system, as we discussed that it is consisted of heart, blood, and arteries, capillaries, and veins. So there are five main components of cardiovascular system: heart, blood, veins, capillaries, and arteries. So we will discuss them one by one. So arteries are the basically these are the blood vessels. In human body there are three types of blood vessels: arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries are the blood vessels that carry the oxygen rich means oxygenated blood from heart to the rest of the tissues of the human body. In coming slides, I will discuss like how the heart pumps the blood to the lungs for oxygenation, and then after that oxygenated blood is again it moves to the heart, and from the heart it is pumped out throughout the human body. So basically arteries are the blood vessels that deliver the oxygenated blood from heart to the different parts of the body. So what are the functions? They carry the oxygen rich blood away from the heart to the tissues of the body, except the pulmonary artery. So in human body all the arteries carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery, which carries blood to the lungs for oxygenation. So as I said, heart first, heart carries all the blood from the body, it gives it to the lungs, and from the lungs oxygenation occurs. The blood is oxygenated, it is filtered, and it is transferred back to the heart, and then heart is responsible for giving the oxygenated blood to supply the oxygenated blood throughout the human body. So all the arteries carry oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery, which is responsible to carry the deoxygenated blood to lungs for oxygenation. Now the next blood vessels are capillaries. Capillaries are very tiny blood vessels. They connect the arteries to the veins, and these blood vessels carry oxygen and nutrients to individual cells throughout the body. So their main function is to connect the arteries and veins with each other. They are very thin, porous, single layer. Capillary branches increases cross-sectional area. And what is their function? Basically, they bring the nutrients and oxygen to the tissues, and they remove the waste products. If you want to know more about the capillaries, there's a link in the video. You can watch this video and you will get a more clearance on the function and structure of capillaries. Now, the third main important blood vessel is veins. Veins are the blood vessels. They carry the blood towards the heart. Now, what is the difference between the veins and the arteries? As I said, arteries carry the deoxygenated blood throughout the body. They are responsible for supplying the oxygenated blood, but veins are responsible for uh, taking the deoxygenated blood towards the heart. So as you can see, the function is that they are responsible for returning the deoxygenated blood back to the heart after an arteries carry the blood out. So all the the inferior, as you can see later on, we will discuss the structure of heart as well. So vena cava is the largest vein in the human body, and veins have much thinner walls than the arteries. So veins are composed of the layers of thin tissues and less muscular. Okay, so that's the main difference between the veins and the arteries. As you can see here, the structure of the veins as well. Pulmonary vein. So as I said, that the arteries, the veins are responsible for carrying the deoxygenated blood towards the heart, except the pulmonary vein, because the pulmonary vein carries the oxygenated blood. Okay. If you want to know more about the circulatory system in detail, then you can watch this video, which is given in the link, and you will get more knowledge of the circulatory system in detail. Now, the next component, as we have discussed, that there are different components of the heart, cardiovascular system, in which we have discussed arteries, veins, and capillaries. Now, the next component which we are going to discuss is heart. Heart is basically a muscular organ which pumps, all of us know that it pumps the blood through the blood vessels of the circulatory system. In simple word, it is responsible for pumping out the blood from the heart to the different parts of the body. Now, how heart consists of four chambers, two atrias and two ventricles. Atrias receive blood and ventricle pumps the blood out. So what is the function of heart? Right side pumps the blood to the lungs and left side pumps the blood to the body. So both of these pumping of the right side and left side take place at one time. As you can see the diagram, in the diagram you can see the aorta, the right one on the top. So as you can see, I'm using the pointers. This bit, this is actually, you can say the yellow, you can see my pointer here. This is called aorta. And the red line shows, the red color shows the oxygenated blood. Now this blue one, this shows deoxygenated blood. And now you can see this is right atrium, this is left atrium, this is right ventricle and left ventricle. Okay, so next move to the next slide. So heart is having the two pumps that work together, as I said before, as well left and right, both of them work together. So repeated contraction when blood goes out, and then relaxation. Then when after the contraction, there is a relaxation. So repetitive contractions that are called systole, or you might have heard about the systolic pressure, and relaxation, that is diastolic pressure, diastole of the heart chambers. Blood moves through the circulatory system from the areas of higher to lower pressure. Now we will discuss about the blood, the last component. The blood is the bodily fluid in humans and the other animals that deliver the necessary substances as nutrients and oxygen to the cell. So as if we talk about the structure of the blood is actually a tissue itself, a tissue. It is composed of 80% of the water and 20% of the solids, and more than 4,000 different kinds of component in the blood. So what is the function of blood? It is responsible to supply blood to the cells and the tissues of human body, and it is also responsible to regulate acidity, which is called pH level, and body temperature. So now there are different components of the blood as well. You can see types of blood as well. So so blood is composed of the different tissue, different cells in it. So there are red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, and plasma. So plasma is itself, it constitutes of 90% water, 10% proteins, electrolytes, nutrients, and waste products. Red blood cells are also called erythrocytes. This is a biological name for them, and they are responsible to carry oxygen and carbon dioxide, and they have hemoglobin, which gives a red color to the color red to the blood. Then the white blood cells have biological name of leukocytes. They are responsible to fight against the infections, viruses, and the bacteria. So they have basically autoimmune function. And there are different types of further white blood cells as well. Now you can see neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils, and basophils. We are not going to go into the detail of them, but if you want to look, you have a look over the videos of the types of the blood cells, and you will get the knowledge of that. Then the next type of the blood is called platelets, and their biological name is thrombocytes, and they are responsible for helping in blood clotting and for losing the blood. You might have seen that whenever a person is having a cut or an injury, so they are responsible for the for maintaining a clot at that site. So reduce the blood loss, excessive blood loss. So that is basically platelets, which are responsible for in blood clotting. So as a whole, what is the function of the blood? They transport the oxygen, nutrients, and hormones, help regulate pH and body temperature. They protect against excessive blood loss and diseases, which is the responsibility of white blood cells. And blood play an important role in maintaining the body's homeostasis, that is body temperature. Red blood cells, as we discussed, they contain the oxygen carrying protein, which is called hemoglobin, which gives red color to the blood. Platelets, they detach from the red bone marrow and then move into the blood streams. They have important role in halting the blood loss from the damaged blood vessels by performing a platelet plaque. And additionally, their granules contain the chemicals that promote the blood clotting when released. Okay, so anemia, you might have considered, we are just going to discuss one of the condition here, anemia, and rest of them will be discussed in the later lessons. You might have heard about a condition called anemia. Anemia is a problem of not having enough healthy red blood cells in the human body or hemoglobin, because they are responsible to carry oxygen to the blood tissues. So the person who is having not healthy red blood cells in the body, they are diagnosed with a condition called anemia. Hemoglobin is basically protein, as we discussed. It is found in red blood cells. They carry oxygen from lungs to all the other organs of human body. As in the picture, you can see anemic person, how the red blood cells and white blood cells are in there, and you can see the normal individual with red blood cells and white blood cells as well. So the symptoms of anemia are tiredness, weakness, shortness of breath, pale yellow skin, then irregular heartbeats, dizziness, lightheadedness, chest pain, and very cold hands and feet. And there are other as well symptoms, so you can have a look over them. So that was all a basic introduction of cardiovascular system. Now, or in supporting people with long-term conditions, obviously with each system of human body, we discuss the diseases associated with those systems as well. So in the later lessons, in the next lesson, we are going to discuss the cardiovascular diseases which are related to the cardiovascular system of human body. So we are going to discuss coronary heart disease, stroke, peripheral vascular disease, congenital heart diseases, valvular heart diseases, heart failure, and hypertension in detail. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, please do ask me on the email given.